This is how you want it to sound. You want it to be quick. I mean, you see how fast I'm going through? Because of that right there. That's all I need to do right there. See? Just a little movement. Downshifting and engine braking is one of the best things you can do to slow yourself down out here. If I had to relearn how to ride, one of the first things I would make sure that I know how to do before I actually came out on the streets is to learn how to downshift and engine brake. And then you'll hear, you know, engine braking's bad for the bike. It seems like everyone kind of gets how to upshift, but when it comes to downshifting, that seems to get the most questions. Wait a minute, you can speed up and you can slow down by downshifting? So if you see this car right here, I'm talking, I'm doing a moto vlog, right? Notice the first thing I do. Advance to me, I'm like, oh, this thing's crazy. Apply a downshift. And I actually said right after that, downshifting is the best brake, man. And that actually slows me down because of that engine braking. You guys have heard of that term, Rev Match, and we're gonna explain all that today too. Anytime I pull in the clutch, it's essentially like neutral. See the bike starting to roll? As soon as I pull it in, it stops. Now I'm pushing the bike back, watch. As soon as I let it out, it goes forward. So that's what the clutch is doing. But that is gonna bring down your engine speed. And that's why we do something called rev matching, and I'll cover that more in a little bit. So I'm going about 60 something miles an hour. Now watch, I'm just gonna let off the throttle. Now you see how I'm actually just slowing down? I haven't done anything, right? I'm already slowing down. Now if I apply that downshift, it slows me down more, right? Just by actually applying a downshift. But there is a better way that you can do that. If you notice, the bike jolted, right? We're gonna explain what to actually do to prevent that. Look, and you can also do it without the clutch. Once you're fast on that throttle, see that? Oh, that was bad. Whoa, 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 whoa. See, I'm using downshifting right now to slow me down. See, I didn't even touch the brakes. Don't have to, because I know that engine brake can slow me down, just like that. See, I didn't even touch the brakes. Here's another biker. You know, and you'll hear people say to not rev match and stuff. After you ride, after a while, you just kind of like, oh, this is better. I kind of didn't even watch any videos on how to learn. I just rode a two-stroke, and I'm like, oh, this makes sense. See, I'm using that back brake and some downshifting, man. That's all I'm doing right now. The dude followed me. See? Right there. No power, power. Watch the RPMs. See? They drop. That's what we're actually trying to... We're pretty much trying to fix that, right? So, look. And the faster you can do it, the better it becomes. And you do it like... When you use the four-finger thing like this, there's just like that hesitation versus like this. Like that. That was kind of, I kind of rode it a little bit, but I mean, you can use more than one finger, but you don't got to pull it in all the way. That's the best way of doing it. And I don't always have the best form, but that's just because, again, I'm riding out here, you know, and Pay attention. Oh my gosh, I hate when cars do that. I hate that. Huh, because I've seen cars just turn into people for no reason. From what I've seen, a lot of people tend to have more trouble downshifting than upshifting. Upshifting is easy. You just literally upshift, right? See? Just slow. I'm not even touching the brakes. Not even touching it. Now I'm touching the rear. Look, don't even need to touch the front yet. You want to use downshifting, engine braking, and a combination of the brakes. See, not even using the brake. Not using the brake. Now, use the brakes. Now look, I'm slowing down. I haven't even touched anything yet. Look, watch, look, see, I'm just slowing down. If I do this, oh, not really slowing down. Well, I am, but not as much as I could be. And when you don't tune these things, some of you might remember I was like, whoa, this thing doesn't engine brake the same. It doesn't. When you let off the throttle on one of these stock, instantly slowing down like 15 miles an hour. Instantly, watch now. Oh, that was bad. Now, slowing down. Rise up. Now, I'm in first gear. This is kind of the best example I could give you. Watch this. Coasting. Now I'm going to slow down just from letting this out. Whoa. And that's where you got to be careful too. Did you see how I just peeled out right there? That was because I was going too fast for that gear. So if you're going too fast for the specific gear you're in, like if I'm going right here like this, and I just let the clutch out right now, the bike is actually going to skid. So I wouldn't do that. But motorcycles, if you press down once, you're not going to drop like 3 gears. You only drop 1 gear at a time on a motorcycle. So when I have to stop in like an emergency situation, right, what I'm doing is I'm downshifting, instantly going down through the gears, letting the clutch out so the engine slows me down, and then I'm also on that back brake and I'm progressively overloading on that front brake just enough to where I know it's not going to lock up. On this bike, if I'm slamming any brake, it's going to be the rear brake. Skirt! One of the most important things I would say to actually get if you're a new rider is ABS. If I slam this brake on this bike, I'm going to lock it up. I'm going to lock up the front brake. So I'm doing everything possible to not slam the brake. And how do I do that? I use downshifting, engine braking, and a combination of the brakes. Like this car right here. See this car right here? He sees me. But like if I wanted to stop, I'm doing that. I'm doing this right here because I'm slowing down. See how when I let out the clutch, boom, like that, it catches again. So I'm using a lower gear to slow down my speed basically. So watch, I'm going to downshift. I'm just going to pull in the clutch, pay attention to the engine speed, doing nothing right now. So if I'm braking, I'm not using that full potential of the bike, man. What I can do is this. And then use the brakes like that, you know? This is what you don't want to do, watch. See how, that's just so bad for the bike. The clutch, the gears. Watch how much smoother just like that. Just like that. See that? That's so much smoother like that. You can actually do it and downshift too. See, that was without the clutch. And you can also upshift without the clutch too. Just like that. You just have to do it right. This is a downshift. I could have done that better. There we go. That was better. Even some bikes have auto blippers on them now. I'm not a fan of that because, you know, I'm not on the track. I don't care. Just riding as a crotch rocket, you don't really need auto blipper. But what the auto blipper does is it makes you not have that problem. Like, so if I'm cutting it in tight into a corner, I can get into the right RPMs but also slow myself down enough. You get the best of both worlds when you do it. And it also makes riding more fun. When you get an exhaust and you learn to rev match right, then it makes riding pretty fun. It sounds cool, it does. The best advice I would give to any new rider is learn how to use the motor to your advantage, and that comes with downshifting. When you downshift, you're just in tune with the motor, right? I guess that's the best way I would describe it, right? Is be in tune with that motor, man. But where everybody gets confused is you can slow down, but you can also speed up. Anytime I increase the RPMs, it's gonna make the bike more aggressive. I'm in a neighborhood, I gotta kind of be careful here, but the RPMs are low right now, so it's still kind of aggressive. You see that? See, it's still kind of aggressive in third. Now watch, if I downshift, the RPMs went up a little bit. Now it's gonna be more aggressive, right? Same thing, first, now the RPMs are higher, more aggressive. See? More aggressive, right? So now watch, okay, see, I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down. Now if I pull in the clutch, I'm just coasting. So use that engine to help you, right? Now this is what I mean by speeding up, okay? So let's see. Now I'm in 4th gear, right? I don't have much torque, so I want more torque now. What do I do? Downshift, downshift. So 5th gear, and you can see that was with no clutch. And you actually want to use 1 or 2 fingers on the clutch, and I'm going to explain why, right? I used to make this mistake all the time, especially when you're just riding like this. Forget about technique, doesn't really matter. But the problem with these bikes is they go so fast and get there so quick. At those higher speeds, that's when technique matters. But watch, just a little movement. And that's why I encourage people to record themselves, not just for social media, but if you put a camera on your bike, or on your helmet, excuse me, and you just watch yourself ride, like not for clout, not for anything like that, just straight up watch yourself ride. You'd be surprised at the amount of stuff you learn. And that applies to anything, that doesn't just apply to this. If you film yourself, you will get better. You hear how fast that was? That's why you do that 1 finger, watch. See that? That's what you want. You want it to be quick. Watch. I'm gonna downshift. I could have even been better. It could have been better, but watch. Let's see. 1 finger. Just like that. That's all I need to do right there. See? Start using that 1 finger trick, man. If you want to go fast, smooth, rev match, and just be quick. The whole idea is be quick. But we're not always racing. If you're just casually riding like this, 4 fingers is fine. This car, that person is so stupid, man. That's why you can't speed, man. You got idiots like that. Oh, what the... And no, this isn't bad for the motor. It's only bad if you're downshifting and using the engine in the red line, right? And I'll explain why it's actually not bad. So, this is a 4-stroke engine, not a 2-stroke engine. So on a 2-stroke motor, the oil is actually in the gas. You can still downshift like this. That'll never hurt the motor. That's never gonna hurt the motor. But it's not the same as a 4-stroke motor. If I just let off and keep coasting constantly down like a hill and the RPMs are very high, well, on a 2-stroke, that matters because the oil is actually in the gas, and that's what supplies that lubrication to the piston. So when you blip the throttle, you're getting more oil. So if you just have it closed the entire time, you're actually causing a lean condition. Long periods of engine brake, especially down like a hill or something, and you're just the entire time, that's actually causing a lean condition because you're not getting that oil. On this engine, completely different. The oil pump is actually supplying all the oil where it needs to be, the pistons, the clutch, transmission, all that. So on this bike, it's completely different. You know, it's not bad to actually engine brake on one of these. It's only bad if you're really revving it out into the high part of the RPMs. That's when the valves start going out of whack, is when you're on the top end of the motor. When you're on that rev limiter and that high part of that motor all the time, that's when you're putting more wear and tear on that motor. These bikes can take a pounding. I've literally never broken, besides by user error, other than user error, on like an old dirt bike, but I've literally never ever broken a Japanese motor just from like riding it. They just don't quit. So it takes a lot to actually break this thing. You're not actually hurting it. Oh, that was bad. So you're not actually hurting the bike by downshifting. You want to use downshifting to your advantage.